So I wonder if you've ever felt like this. This is Romans 7:15, and Paul says this. He says, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do, and what I hate, I do. It's funny, as a pastor, if I were to tell you what I want my relationship with God to be defined as, I would say deep, powerful, spiritual, supernatural, intimate, would all be the descriptions that I would want. Unfortunately, if I was going to be honest, I have a confession to make. That verse would probably best describe it. I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do, and what I hate, I do. Just too often, though I want to spend time with God and focus on Him and sit down and read the Bible and dissect it and learn more about it and learn more about Him, I don't do it. The things I hate, I come home from the office, and though I want to sit down and read the Word, I sit down and watch TV instead. Though I want to get up early a lot of times, I end up sleeping in just because it's what my body wants. It's so much more convenient to do that. And these last few years, it's just been frustrating. I've found myself at a place that I never wanted to be. I never thought I would be. I remember being in Masters as an intern and thinking, there was a stat that had come out at the time. I don't know where they got this number from, but they said that the average pastor prayed 5 minutes a day. And I remember thinking, that's horrible. How can the leaders of our church spend such little time with God? I thought, it'll never be me. And I think I've come to realize these last couple of weeks that it has become me in a lot of ways. For these last few years, I've become so busy with stuff, with doing and to-dos and emails and just things that just consume my time, that my relationship with God, rather than being the foundation of my day, has been an auxiliary, fit it in when I can part of my day. And if I get time with Him today, then cool. And a couple of weeks ago, we went to this retreat with the youth staff and the master students, and God just messed me up. It just really rocked me. I was crying like a baby. Embarrassing crying, which I hate doing. And God just reminded me and showed me how off I've been. And I remember at this conference seeing the picture of what I wanted. I want all those words: intimate, deep, powerful, spiritual, supernatural, all this great stuff. That's what I want to define my relationship with God again. I want to be 80 years old and look back at a life of ministry and family and know that I put my family first and I loved my boys and my wife, and that I've impacted people and I've reached them, and that I've been deeply intimate with God. And then I thought, oh my goodness, there's no way that just seems like so big to spend an entire life. I had to restructure my life to accomplish that. And I remember just at first excitement and then I'm like, this is just impossible. This is daunting. I can't do the things I need to do to make that happen, which is a crazy thing for me to think, because I very rarely look at something and don't think I can do it. I'm an optimist. I believe that anything can be accomplished, and I really didn't with this for some reason. It was this crazy thing of insecurity and doubt going on in my mind, and I even wrote this in my journal. Although I'm motivated to change, I honestly have doubt that I will have the discipline to do it. See, my flesh has consumed me for so long that my flesh has so consumed how I spend my time that the mountain seems too big to conquer. The crazy thing is that I never feel this way about anything. I always look at problems that I have through faith, that it can be done. But this is different. I've failed so many times, and I think the enemy has beat me down so much that my faith has been damaged. And I don't know if you're where I was at a couple weeks ago, but it sometimes, though we have the motivation to do what is right, it's kind of like what I talked about a couple days ago with Joshua and Caleb, but though we have the motivation, the task seems so big that it's almost like, where do you start? And since I don't know where to start, I'm not going to. It's not even really possible. And I know, and so a lot of people struggle with pornography or some type of sexual addiction, and it's so powerful in their life that it's like, I can't live the next 50 years without it to some extent. And so rather than even try, we just give up. And that's exactly how I felt. I'm like, I can't change it. I got to figure out how to cope with the way that I am. It's literally what I thought, which is mind-blowing to think that was my mindset. And something had clicked, though. And the day after the conference, God had kind of spoken to me, and he said, you don't have to conquer Mount Everest today, Cole. You don't have to be 80 years old with this great life that you have in your head today. You could just fix today. For the next 24 hours, make a 24-hour commitment to put me first and to spend time with me. We'll talk about tomorrow. And so I did that. I woke up early and I spent time with God that morning and made a 24-hour commitment to put him first. And the crazy thing is that I'm on day 14 right now. And I don't know that I've put together 14 consistent days with God in years, if I've ever done it. If I've ever even done something like that, I don't know. To be honest, I don't remember. 14 consistent days focusing on God and spending time with him and rebuilding this relationship with him that I desperately want. And it's crazy because I feel so alive right now. I feel so encouraged and excited. I am so far from the top of this mountain of spiritual whatever, success or enlightenment or whatever it would be. So far from the top, but I'm so much farther than I was 2 weeks ago, and that gives me strength. And, I don't know what yours is. Maybe yours is the same as mine. Maybe yours is an addiction. Maybe yours is a fight against anger and raging out against your family. Maybe yours is pornography or some type of struggle. I just encourage you to do the same thing that God spoke to me. Don't worry about the mountain. Take a few steps. So let's make a 24-hour commitment to live for God today, whatever that means for you. Then tomorrow you don't even have to worry about, because eventually tomorrow will be today. And then you have the opportunity to do it again. Before you know it, you'll string together enough wins to feel like a conqueror. To realize that you look back and before you even knew it, you accidentally found yourself, man, I've won a couple battles now. I didn't think I could do this, but I have. God's given me the strength to string together some wins, and wow, I'm actually excited and encouraged about where I'm at. So I hope you guys have hope. I have hope. I'm excited, and man, do your best today and let God take care of the rest.